second week of August. What better time than to go through the never-ending mailbag that I'm sure our own Roch Kubatko has here. So, Roch, we're just going to get right down to it. The top of the list for everybody here
is a hot dog a sandwich. No.
We could go into that, but we need the whole game for that. So we'll live mic you. Santander and Corbin Burnes. These are probably the two biggest ones we talk about having a walk year because of the numbers that they keep putting up. Right. Do the Orioles sign both? One? None? What are your thoughts?
From all the inside information I'm working with, which is zero, of course.
Well, I know you signed them personally.
Right. Anything's possible. I'm not saying probable, but anything is possible. And it's funny how times change, because you asked me this a while back, I would have said there's zero chance either way, because you're not going to get in a bidding war here for any big-time free agent, especially a pitcher. Very risky, so is a power-hitting first baseman, but pitching as well. And with Santander, they just had so many of these young outfielders. Looked like he was going to get squeezed out, maybe another way to save money. And then since then, there's now new ownership. And we don't know. We don't have an offseason with David Rubenstein. So we don't know what that's going to be like. We don't know if there's going to be money flying like the caps that he tosses by the dugout, or if it's going to be very similar to what we've seen before. We don't know. So that's where there's a possibility. And, with Santander, too, as a reminder, Austin Hayes is now gone. And Kyle Stowers is now gone. And Heston Kjerstad could do a lot of DHing, and Colton Cowser's playing a lot of center field, which opens up right field. We don't know if Cedric Mullins is going to be back. I mean, he's got one more year of arbitration. We don't know if he's a non-tender candidate, trade candidate, or he stays. So that maybe could open up something for Santander. He's going to be like a 40 home run guy plus. So it's not as obvious now as it was before. It's not like he's entering his age 35 years. So I think there is that possibility. By the way, he's never heard of Ken Singleton. I checked on him. He broke the record. He's like, I'm not a big history guy, but I'm honored. But anyway, I digress.
We shouldn't have told Palmer that.
I know. But there's certainly a possibility.
Okay, interesting. That'll be one that we keep our eye on for sure, and especially knowing how much the fans have loved that Santander has ingrained himself coming from nothing to what he is. Exactly. Now, on the other side of things, currently, the Orioles closing situation. Craig Kimbrell still hasn't fully returned to that role. He had high leverage the other day. It was tough for him. We've seen Sir Anthony Dominguez a few times, Ynier Cano. Do you think they solidify this, or do they keep playing matchups?
Yeah, I mean, people ask, do they have a closer? And I say, yes, whoever has the ball in the save situation is the closer. Next question. But yes, I think right now, Dominguez is the first option for them if available. 1 run in 8 innings. I got to save at the Trop. Kimbrell wins a reset, no longer a reset. He hasn't had a save since July 7th or an opportunity since the 25th. They're trying to regain kind of like his comfort zone on the mound. Some things he's working on. If he has an impressive stretch again like he did during the first reset, he could get more opportunities. But yeah, I think otherwise for now, if it isn't Dominguez, it could be a lot of matchups. It could be Cano, it could be Perez. It could be Soto, who's retired the last 6 batters he faced in 2 outings, which is encouraging. So it could be a lot of availability. They really do miss Danny Coulombe, who could get anybody out. Jacob Webb was really good against lefties. Felix Bautista threw in the bullpen, and that was a cruel tease because he's not coming back this year. So I think right now Dominguez is probably their first choice if he's rested.
It's so interesting that 2 of the things we thought were pretty locked up going into the season were the outfield and the bullpen, and now those are
here we are.
The biggest questions, because that's how baseball works. Now, on the other side of things, when you do look at this overall, at the end of the year, we vote for the MVO, Most Valuable Oriole. Who has your vote right now?
And I hand out the award, and I hold it with both hands, and it looks like it's breakable. And then Gunnar last year just took it with one hand, like palmed it and thanked me. But, Gunnar was kind of the runaway guy in the first half. We all talked about that. It was down to who's second or third. And I think a lot of the people are still saying, yes, Gunnar. But it's not as obvious now as it was. It's not the same slam dunk, 1 home run in the second half. He is batting .290 in the second half here, though, with a .371 on base. So it's not a disaster. He's just not hitting the home runs. But Santander now is definitely in the conversation. And again, if he's going to be a 40 home run plus guy, playing a good right field, you've got to consider him. And of course, Corbin Burnes. If he's a Cy Young candidate, he's an MVO candidate without question. His 19 quality starts. So he's certainly somebody as well. You're going to look at Adley Rutschman if he's starting to heat up again. He could get in that discussion again. And how about Albert Suarez? Now, it's MVO, not MVP. Now, so he might not be the most outstanding, but he might be the most valuable right now for what he's doing, his roles filling in for Grayson. But he's somebody who also, I bet you, ends up on a ballot because you vote for 3 players.
I really want like a separate award, because I also felt that Cesar Valdez would have fallen into that in a different category. Not even the best comeback, but just maybe the most persevering Oriole award.
Right.
We're going to get an MPO on this one. But a tough one to vote for all the same. I'm glad I don't hand out the award. I will continue to let you do your curls and practice that. And guys, don't forget that you can check out MASNsports.com, where Roch will be debating, is a hot dog a sandwich?